Hercule Poirot, the legendary Belgian detective with the egg-shaped head and the magnificent mustache, sat in his London flat, bored by the monotony of a perfect breakfast. He craved a challenge, something to engage his brilliant, little gray cells. And fate answered in the form of a frantic phone call from Sir Claude Amory, a famous physicist living in the quiet countryside of Surrey. Sir Claude had created a terrifying new formula for a deadly explosive called amorite, but he suspected someone in his own household was trying to steal it. He begged Poirot to come immediately to take the formula to the Ministry of Defense, insisting the matter was urgent and delicate. But when Poirot arrived at the sprawling estate of Abbott's Cleeve, he was met with a chilling silence. He was too late. Just moments before his arrival, Sir Claude Amory had gathered his family in the library. His son Richard, his niece Barbara, his spinster sister Caroline, his secretary Edward Rayner, his daughter-in-law Lucia, and a mysterious Italian guest named Dr. Corelli. Sir Claude had locked the doors and announced that the formula had been stolen from his safe just minutes before dinner. He offered them a way out. The lights would be turned off for 1 minute. If the formula was placed on the table in the darkness, no questions would be asked. The lights went out, plunging the room into absolute darkness. In the pitch black, the room was filled with the sounds of heavy breathing, a rustle of paper, a metallic clink, and a woman's scream. When the lights blazed back on, an envelope was on the table, but it was empty, and in his armchair, Sir Claude Amory sat motionless, dead. Poirot, now on the scene with his faithful friend Captain Hastings, refused to leave despite Richard Amory's attempts to dismiss him. The local doctor, Dr. Graham, confirmed that Sir Claude hadn't died of a heart attack. He had been poisoned with a powerful dose of hyoscine. A vegetable alkaloid likely slipped into his coffee. The house was full of suspects, but suspicion quickly turned toward the outsider, Dr. Corelli and Lucia, Richard's beautiful but anxious wife. It was revealed that Lucia was being blackmailed by Corelli. She was actually the daughter of an infamous spy, Selma Goetz, and she had been desperate to keep this secret from her husband. The tension in the house reached a breaking point when Lucia, terrified and hysterical, confessed to Poirot that she had stolen a tube of hyoscine. However, she claimed she intended to use it to commit suicide to escape the blackmail. She believed she had accidentally killed Sir Claude because she had put the poison in her own cup, which she thought Sir Claude had then drunk by mistake. She was ready to take the blame to save her husband from suspicion, while Richard, equally desperate, tried to confess to the murder to save her. But Poirot saw what others missed. He noticed that a tin box of hospital drugs on a high shelf had no dust on it, unlike the dusty shelf itself, implying someone had accessed it long before the dinner party. He also focused on a sound heard during the blackout, not the tearing of silk, as Miss Amory thought, but the tearing of paper. Poirot realized the killer was the unobtrusive secretary, Edward Rayner. Rayner had stolen the formula earlier and poisoned the coffee, counting on the darkness to hide his actions. Poirot staged a brilliant trap to catch the arrogant secretary. He complained of the heat and asked Rayner for a whiskey. When Rayner returned with the drinks, Poirot engaged him in conversation, hinting he knew the truth. Rayner, believing he had successfully poisoned Poirot's whiskey, just as he had Sir Claude's coffee, smugly confessed his plan. He admitted he had torn the formula into spills, strips of paper used to light pipes, and hidden them right on the mantelpiece in plain sight. As Rayner prepared to leave the dying detective, Poirot suddenly sat up, perfectly fine. He had switched the glasses with the help of Hastings, who was hiding outside the window. Inspector Japp leaped from the shadows, arresting Rayner for murder. The formula was recovered, but Lucia, with Richard's permission, burned it in the fireplace, deciding that the world had seen enough suffering and the deadly explosive should never be used. The case was closed, the marriage was saved, and Hercule Poirot could finally return to his beloved order and neatness.